So today we are dealing with this question that was tested in August 2024, question number 25. I believe you are able to see my data. And the question says, owing to public outcry on implementation of various projects across the country, the National Treasury of your country has provided data relating to projects implementation in the past 4 years. The data set comprises project focus areas, that is columns A and B, bank data on project C, on projects, that is columns E to G, projects detailed breakdown from column J onwards. An economic watchdog organization has approached you to help analyze the data for purpose of making meaningful deliberations on the data provided. The data in the first Excel sheet labeled question, or the data is in the next Excel sheet labeled question 25 data. Note, the bank statement amounts column shows the disbursements to the project IDs. So you're required using relevant formulas or functions. Fill the appropriate data to the blank columns MRUVW, and then you calculate those things. So let's go to this data. Now, if you can take a quick journey of this data, you click there, you can see we have the project, we have the project focus, C and D are empty, then we have project ID, we have date, we have disbursed amount, HI are empty, project ID there, date, project focus, financial, county, household impacted, budget, disbursed amounts, project cost, admin cost, disbursement balance, project variance, and variance status. Yeah, that's all. So we are told to fill in columns MRUVW. Yeah, so let's go to that data again. And the first thing that I want us to do, you see this one, when you look at this one, you can see it is indicated as date here. It's indicated as date, this one. But the values in here are appearing as numbers. So what you do, you highlight this column, highlight column K that way. When you highlight column K, you right click, then you click format cells, When you click on format cells, you select on the date here, the date, and you change the date to look like the dates that are indicated on your computer. Like now mine here, when I look at where they have put the date, it is showing 20/11/2025. That means the format in my computer is giving me the day first, followed by the month, followed by the year. So I will look for such a format, which is this one. So mine is like this. So if yours is different, you take whatever is similar to yours. So once I take this, you click on that, then you click OK. And you find that that column K has been changed. That column K has been changed. So if column K has been changed, let's go to the first column that we are told to fill in. Now the first column is the project focus. Now the project focus is, these are the focus, these ones, which are mentioned here in information, in column B, this one. So the types of projects, they are these ones here. This is a summary of the unique projects that we have. So when we come now here to these columns, these three, they are speaking about the project ID, the date it was undertaken, and the focus. So in M here, we are told now to identify the focus. To identify the focus. So to identify, here we shall use what we call the VLOOKUP. The VLOOKUP. So we will come here and you type equal sign. Type equal sign. Then you type VLOOKUP. You double click on it. We covered the VLOOKUP, so I expect you to remember. Once you have done that, so I was saying we know how to use the VLOOKUP. So we are looking for the names of the project focus. And this one, we will go to the table, the lookup value. The lookup value is this name here, this one here. So this name here, so click on this one. That is the name that we want to go identifying together with the others. So we click on that. Then you click a comma. Then we go to the table array. Table array is where these values are put. Is where these values are put. So what you are going to do, itabidi tumerudi nyuma hapa this way. You come and select this that way. You select that way. Then you put a comma. When you put a comma, the next item that we need to indicate is the column that is having the name that you are looking for. So as you remember, we count here, this is column 1, this is column 2. So the focus is in column 2. So comma, we put a comma there. Once we put the comma, we said you put or you select the exact match. So you double click on this exact match. And then you close the brackets. You close the brackets. You close the brackets. Then press enter and tell me what you're getting. Press enter and tell me what you're getting. Yeah, I can see we are getting education. Let's see, that is what we are getting. So let me press enter, I see. Yeah. Now click on this and then you double click on this one. This data is huge. So you double click so that it autofills. Inakujazia mpaka chini. Yeah, so the data is huge. You see that in a while. So I think we have filled that column. The next column that we are told to fill in, that was, if I come back, so is column R. So let's go for R. Let's move here and look at column R. This one, disbursed amounts. Disbursed amount. So the disbursed amount is where? This is the budget. We come look for it. This one. So this is the one that we want to select. It's the one that we want to is it that one? Disbursed amount. Yes. Is in column G. So the amount that has been disbursed is in G. Hiyo ndio tunaulizwa. And you need to identify that amount with the project. You need to identify that amount with the project. So let's, that means we shall pick the whole of this one, paka chini, so that you're able to pick the amount that has been disbursed. So let's move back to column R, disbursed amount. So even here we shall use the VLOOKUP. So you type equals, then you press or you type VLOOKUP. You type VLOOKUP. When you type VLOOKUP, we want to get the project ID. This is the one, because we have said here, unaona hapa, we have said that this amount that is disbursed we are going to pick as per the project. And the unique identifier is the project ID. The project ID. So we will come here and pick this project ID. This one. And we are picking this because we want the information about these projects. These ones. These ones. So we pick this one. That is our lookup value. You put a comma. When you put a comma, it is asking for the table array. So the table array, it is this table that we have just been talking about from column E. So highlight this table, click here on D, you come all the way to here. Project ID, that way. Once you have done that, you have highlighted the first row, we are going to press Control, Shift, and the down arrow so that ituchukulie kila kitu. So press Control, Shift, and down arrow. Control, Shift, down. So unaona hiyo data yote inachukuliwa ni ya 4,500. So that is our table array. Then you click here on the formula bar and you put a comma. Put a comma. When you put a comma, the amount that we want to know is in column 3. So you press 3. You press 3. When you press 3, you press a comma. Then you press or you double click the force so that we get the exact match. Remember I told you can also type 0. So let's double click on this. That way. Once you do that, you now close the brackets. Press enter and tell me what you are getting. Press enter, tell me what you're getting. Press enter, let me know what you're getting. Okay, good. So when I press enter, we are getting an amount of 24,125. So that is the amount that has been disbursed. So click on this 24. Click on that, then you double click. Ikujazie. When you do that, you find there are some places where we are getting the hash not applicable. That's an error. So that means those projects, they have not been given any money. No money has been disbursed. So in such a case, to remove the error, we use the function, the logical function of if error. So click on this one that we had begun with. This 24,125. You click there. 24,125. When you click on that, you come here to the formula bar. You come to the formula bar. And when you come to the formula bar, you click between equal sign and V. Between equal sign and V. You put the cursor there. Then you type if error. You see it here, you double click. If error. You double click. Now we are telling Excel that it should use the VLOOKUP, but if it finds an error, now click here at the end of this formula, hapa mwisho, and you type comma. Then you type opening quotes, you put 0, and closing quotes, and you close the brackets. So you go to where we have that formula heading, put a comma, put opening quotes, put 0, close the quotes, and close the brackets. That means we are telling Excel that if it does not find the disbursed amount, instead of giving us an error, it should give us a 0. So when you press enter, press enter, press enter, and then you autofill that value and tell me whether it clears the NA errors. So press enter, then you click again on that, you autofill by double clicking on the autofill button and tell me whether it removes the errors. If it does, say my yes. Yeah, good. So I click there. Then I come here. And I can even format. Badala ya 0 kukua hii side, let me put them left, right aligned that way. So those are the disbursed amounts. That's column R. Let's go to the next one here. That is column U. Column U. So when I am here, column U is disbursement balance. Disbursement balance. So disbursement balance, it is obviously the amount that was budgeted, you less the amount that has been disbursed. You less the amount that has been disbursed. So that one is very direct, very simple. So you just come here, you say equals, you click on this one, this Q, the budget, minus what has been released, the disbursed. So press enter, tell me how much you're getting. Yeah, I can see we are getting 148. So this amount, you again autofill. You autofill, inajipanga huko mpaka mwisho. You autofill. When you autofill, the next thing that you do is now to come to which column? Column V. So we have V and W. So V is the variance. So this is part of what you have been doing. So variance, we know very well, is the difference between the actual costs, is the difference between the actual costs and the what? And the budget. So for us to get the variance, we'll say equals, you go to where we have the budget. The budget is this one. So you click on this one. Q. You minus the actual. The actual is this one. Now, the actual costs, there are two types of cost here. There is the project cost and the admin costs. So the admin is the one that is used for coordination of what is happening for the project to be undertaken. Then the project cost is the direct cost. So we are going to subtract these two. So you subtract S and then you say minus this one for T. So it's the budget minus the project cost minus the admin cost. So press enter, tell me what that is or how much that is. Yeah, 133, good. So then once again, autofill. You autofill that. Then we are told to get the status. We did this the other day. So we said for the status, you say equals, and you use the logical function if. The logical function if, and you click here. So we want to compare the budget against these costs. So we will be saying, you click on this budget. This budget should be compared with the actual cost. So we say if the budget is greater, shift greater, is greater than this project cost plus this admin. If the budget is greater than those two, you put a comma. You put a comma. That one, we shall call it favorable. If the budget is more than the actual, we shall call it favorable. So as you know, we always start with the opening quotes. Then we type the word favorable. You close the quotes. Then you put a comma. You put a comma. You open the quotes. And then you put the word adverse. Adverse, close the quotes, then close the brackets. Press enter, tell me what it is. Yeah, we are getting favorable. So you can autofill. Okay, so we are done with that. We are done with that. Let's go back to, so we have filled in the appropriate data. Now calculate the number of power connectivity projects implemented. So to calculate, that means to count. That is to count the projects that were implemented. So we will go back here. Now these ones, I think this one, we can come here. So let's put them here on this sheet. On this sheet, so we see other solutions. So equals, I think they want number one is this one. Yeah, so we can put it somewhere here. Equals, we use the word count if, or we use the function, not the word, count if. Count if. Count if, we go and tell Excel where we are going to count from. So we are going to count from where we have the project. So let's go to this data. Our projects are in column. So if I move backwards, yeah, this is where the projects are, this one. So this is the reach. So what we shall do, click on this one here. And then because tunataka kuchukua zote, we press Control Shift down arrow, Control Shift down. So that has selected the entire column. Then you put a comma. We need to specify which project that we want to be counted. We want power connectivity. So open the quotes, or we can, the easier way is if I try to go up, mine is still processing, a bit slow. If I go up here, instead of typing, if the value or what you're looking for is already typed in one of the cells, it is easier to just click. You see, when you click, it brings in the quotes. Then you close the brackets. Press enter, tell me what you are getting. Yes, we are getting 630. Good. Let's go and get the next one. The next requirement they want, so this one is This one here. They want the amount of money disbursed by the National Treasury. So if you want the amount of money disbursed, then this is about summing. It is about the summation. So what we shall do, takuja hapa, we say equals the sum. Sum, we double click on that. We go to the column. Let's go back here to the column where money was disbursed. So the disbursed amount, the disbursed, it is this one. So once we have clicked there, again, we can do shift control down, shift control down. Close the brackets and press enter. Now tell me whether you get a figure similar to mine. Okay. So if you have gotten a figure similar to mine, that is good. Higher. Let's go to the next. The next one, they want the average budget of social projects in Nandi. Now, this one is introducing two conditions. We want the average budget for projects that are social, so it's not every project. And then you're saying you can see financials are different. What do you mean by that?
They wanted the amount disbursed by National Treasury, and I can see there is PPP, there's donor partners, there is Government of Kenya on column N.
There are different financials. You see? Oh, the government okay, so this one now, we sum ifs. We sum ifs. So we are going to sum ifs. We want the national treasury will be represented by who?
GOK.
GOK. Okay. I don't know whether we need to do that because this money was coming from the National Treasury. You can see this one. Owing to the public outcry, the implementation across the project, the National Treasury of your, So who disburses? I think that is where it came from. Even if the financial is different. Who disburses? The center. When it comes to government projects.
The National Treasury.
Yeah, I think that's my argument. My argument. That is supposed to be everything that was disbursed. But if you still want to go with the National Treasury, you can use the approach that is here. This one. Let me use the same approach here. This one. For this one, we have two conditions. We have two conditions. So the two conditions are the average budget of social services, the ones that are in Nandi. So this is what you shall do. Equals, you type the average ifs this way. So the average ifs. So in getting the average ifs, you need to identify the average range. Now the range is where those amounts are. The amounts that you want the averages. So it is the budget. It's the budget, this one. This one. So we are going to click on this one. Then shift control down. So that is where we want to average. We put a comma. We put a comma. Then we want to give the, when you put a comma, you want to give the criteria range 1, where the first criteria will be found. Now the first criteria is the social services. That's what they had said. Yeah, social services, and then Nandi County. Okay, so I come back here. Hope I have not messed my data. Okay. I think this one was not part of that. Yeah, I think I was there up to that point. So I am saying we need to get the criteria range. So the criteria range is where we have, so itabidi hii nimerudi juu, so that I'm able to pick that column. Where we have the project. The projects are here. This is in column what? Column. This one I'm not able to see clearly. Okay, LM. This one is where we are. The project focus. So we are going to pick from here. That's the criteria range where our criteria will be found, the social services. So once again, you click on this one, M2, that one. When you click on it, again, shift control down, then you put a comma, When you put a comma, we are looking for social services, and we are in this column. And I've told you, if what you are looking for is already present in a cell, you better just click on any cell. Like now here we want social services, and I can see them, so many of them. So just click on one of them. That's the criteria, the first criteria. Just click anywhere kuna social services there. Anywhere. Then you put a comma. So that now we come to give the second criteria. So the second criteria is Nandi. So Nandi, let's go look at where the counties are. We go look for where the counties are. So the counties are here, the counties, this one. So you click on the first, the criteria ridge here. Hapa kumeandikwa Lamu. Then shift control down. Shift control down. Then comma. Now kwa hizi counties, we want Nandi. So you can start scrolling. Mahali utaona kuna Nandi, you just click. Like now this one. Wherever you see the name Nandi, you can either click or you type. When you do so, close the brackets. Close the brackets. When you close the brackets, you press enter. Now say yes if you are getting a figure similar to mine. You're getting a figure similar to mine. Okay, Jacinta says we repeat the process. So we are using a function called average ifs. That means we have more than one condition. So you say equals, you type the word average, and then you double click on this one, average ifs, the one that has S, the one that has S. If you pick the one that does not have S, you'll be using one condition. So average ifs. So in this formula, we always start with the average range. Now the average range, it is the set of cells that contains the figures whose averages you are looking for. It is the set of cells that contains the figures whose average you are looking for. So we go to our question number 24. We are looking for the budget. So I need to go up here. I need to go up there. Just click here. Control home. I'm looking for the budget. This one. Hii ndio column nataka. So I want to add all these figures that are in the budget. So you click on Q2 here. When you click on Q2, tunataka kuchagua zote. So Control Shift down. So that has selected our criteria range. Then you put a comma. Put a comma. Now the first criteria is the type of the project focus, social services. Now you need to tell us where the social services will be found. So the social services, if I move upwards here, they are being found here. That is in column M. Column M. Column M. No, not column M. They are social services. Where are they? Yes, column M. Yes, that's where they are. Not the focus, not the project, not the project. It is the project focus. Social services. Easy. So you click here. This one. M2. Then again, we pick the entire column. Shift Control down. Shift Control down. That is column M. Column M. Then you put a comma. When you put a comma, it is now asking you to tell us the criteria one. So our criteria is social services. And I have told you, you can either type, but as you type, you put the quotes. But it is easier to click on the cell where that name or names, those names have already been typed. So just look for any cell that has the words social services, you click. So that is our first criteria. When you click there, you put a comma. We now bring the second criteria each. So the second criteria we want is the county. And our county, so we come up here. Counties are in column O, this one. So you click on the first one here. You click on the first one. Then you press Control Shift down. Control Shift down. Control Shift down. You put a comma. Now you bring the second criteria. So the second criteria is Nandi. So you just scroll upwards kidogo kidogo and you find Nandi here. Nandi. Then you close the brackets and you press enter. So that is what we are supposed to do. Are we together now, Jacinta? Good. I can also repeat for you people to understand vizuri. So this one, let me say this is sum. So hii nimetumia sum. Now, if I want to come here and use the sum ifs, actually it will not be sum ifs. It will just be sum if. This is sum if because we are only looking for National Treasury. So it's a sum if, just one condition. Sum if. Sum if. So sum if it is equals to, you type sum if, you double click, then you bring the range where we want to add. So we go to this, we were dealing with the disbursed amounts. So the disbursed, these ones. So you click there and you press Shift Control down. That is where we have the range. Then you close the brackets. Sorry. We are supposed to pick the criteria range. The criteria range first. The criteria range. Sorry. Criteria range. The criteria range, we want the government here. So we are supposed to pick from zinakuanga opposite. They are usually opposite. The sum ifs and the sum if, they are opposite. So mi nafanya ya sum ifs. So for the sum if, the criteria range, we want the financial here. So the financial will be here. So if you have deleted, so click on this one, N that way, Shift Control down. You put a comma. Then we give the criteria. The criteria, we want the government of Kenya. So just click anywhere there is GOK. This one. GOK. just in where there is GOK, that is the criteria. So tunaambia kwa hizo cells zote iende ikichukua criteria, then comma sum range. Now sum range, it is the set of cells where we want the sum to be done. Now that is the disbursed amount. So again is here, ukuje hapa kwa R, the disbursed. Then again, shift control down, that way. Close the brackets. Send me your answer when you press enter. Send me your answer. Send me your answer. Okay, so when we press enter, the answer that we are getting is 53. Good. Yeah. So that is the answer that we are getting. Yeah, so if you just want to know how much was disbursed by government of Kenya, that's how you go about it. So it's a case of sum if. And that has reminded us that when you're dealing with sum if, the sum range comes last. When you're dealing with sum ifs, the sum range comes first. Yeah, so make sure you are able to differentiate the two, the sum if and the sum ifs. Higher, let's go to the next requirement. So we are done with the average budget. Now create pivot summaries of the budget allocated, the amount disbursed, the project cost and administration, showing the years. Okay, so for you to create the budget summaries, let's go and see our data, how it is. How our data is. You see now, when you want to do a pivot table, I told you there are basic steps that you must take. One is to ensure that we do not have empty columns and empty rows. Now that tells you you cannot take this column A, column B, C, D, because they have a lot of empty cells. So we will come here and we pick our data from, we also cannot pick this H and I. So let's pick our data from J, because I think from J to Kisonga hivi, let's see, all the way up to here, we do not have anything that is empty. So once you highlight from column J that way, again press Control Shift down so that ituchukulie everything there. And once you do that, I told you the next thing is to create a table. So you press Control and letter T. Press Control button and T. Control and T. When you press Control and T, ensure that your table has headers. This one is ticked here. It is where we have my table has headers, it is ticked. Then you click OK. When you click OK, now we have our data that has been converted into a table. If you have been able to do that, say yes. If you have been able to do that, say yes. Yeah, good. You can see we are there. Now just click anywhere within this table, anywhere inside. Just click anywhere inside. You click anywhere inside. When you click anywhere inside, run to where we have insert. On the menu, go to insert on the menu. Insert on the menu. When you go to insert, click on pivot table. Now this one, it will be easier we do it in a new worksheet. Because if we were to put it in the existing sheet, you have seen this data is going all the way to around 6,000, 7,000. So there's no need of keeping on scrolling downwards that far. So let's just allow it to go to a new worksheet. New worksheet, and you click on it. You click OK. You click OK. So you shall label now this worksheet. You can come and right click here. You right click here on the sheet. You rename and you tell your examiner these are pivot tables. Yeah, pivot tables. So let's see what they want. So in question 25, they are saying create pivot summaries of the budget allocated per project. So they want us to show, so let's come here to, let's come here to number 1 here, and we say equals. We go to question 1 here, and we take this one. So that is the budget allocated per project. So click inside here. When you click inside, when you come here to the pivot table fields, you take this project here, you drag them down to where we have the rows. So you can see we have the projects here. You can even change these project rows and you just call it project. Sijika itakubali because you already have that. Yeah, good, imekubali. At times when inakataa when you're typing the same name that is appearing here. In case inakataa, you just alter kidogo. You can put a comma, a full stop, or you can add another letter. So those are the projects. Then they want the budget. So drag this budget to the values here. Yeah. And these values, if you want, you can format them to something like that. So that is all. That's the budget allocated per project. The budget allocated per project. Let's come here. We say equals. We go to question 25. The next one they want is the amounts disbursed per project. So what we normally do, we can copy this one. You just click on it here. You right click, copy, you come and paste it somewhere here. Just paste it that way. When you paste, they want the amount disbursed per project focus item. So hii kwanza tutoe, unaona it is showing this project. So tutoe hii project nje na tutoe hii sum. Kisha toa, they want the amount disbursed per project focus. So tulete project focus hapa kwa rows. That's the project focus. So you can come and put here, you add the word focus. Then the disbursed, so the disbursed amount, this one. That is the amount. Or this is showing count. We do not want count. We want the sum, not the count. So if you click on this drop down here, you see the value field settings. Value field settings. Value field settings. You click on it, takuonyesha hapa kwa sum. You click OK. Yeah. So that is how you change. So that shows you the sum, not the count. So nimesema unakujanga hapa. Kisha ileta, you click on this drop down, this one. When you click on this drop down, unakuja hapa kwa value field settings. Value field settings. Sasa hapa you can see you can get the sum, the count, the average, the max, the mean. Sasa ukiscroll hivi unaona hizi vitu zote. You can do all that. So we are done with that. Let's copy this one again. Let's copy this one. We paste it somewhere here because I think we require 3 tables. Let's so nikuje hapa niseme equals. Niende kwa swali nione what else. The project costs and administration cost rate showing the years and months. Haya. So nikiklik hapa nitoe hii inaitwa nani? Project focus. I remove that way and I remove this one also. So I want to show the years and the months. So the date to come here to where we have the rows. So if the date comes there, you can see it is already subdivided, the years, the quarters, the months, and the date. So the examiner wants us to show the years and the months. So the quarters, we remove them. And the date, we remove them. So this is not responding. So what you do if that is not helping, you come here. You see here. You click on this one. It shows you the months. Then you click here. This plus. You come do the same here. You come do the same here. You come do the same. Yeah. Then tunaulizwa the project cost. So project cost tuko nayo, it should be somewhere here. Ndio hii. So you bring it here to where we have the values. Ndio hiyo. Alafu huyo mwingine wanasema ni administration. So the admin, you also bring it here. Yeah, so you can see the amounts. And what you're able to see here is the Excel is adding for you the totals up here. So this is the total for the 2020, broken like this. 2021, that way. So that is the trend. That is the trend. Aya, what next do they require? With summaries in B above, create appropriate visualizations with below forecast message. So the budget allocated costs per project. So if you want to use comparison, we use what we call, I think we covered this in our notes. If you want to use comparison, we use the bar chart. So nitarudi hapa kwa pivot tables. Hapa chini sasa. And I say equals. Then I come here and I create this one. I click this one. I want to draw a graph. I want to draw a graph for this one. Hii ya kwanza. This one. And you remember I told you, or you should remember, that what you do, you click inside the pivot table. You click anywhere inside the pivot table. When you click anywhere inside the pivot table, you are able to see the pivot table analyze. Some Excels will give you pivot tools. So pivot table analyze, you click on it up here on the menu. It is underlined green or it is written in green color. So you click on it, and when you click on it, you click pivot chart. Pivot chart. Pivot chart. And I've said for comparison purposes, we use bar chart. So you come where we have the bar here. You go to where we have the bar, you click on it, then you can choose among all these. So let me just take the first. Now this one, when it is still there, I want to right click and I cut. I come and paste it down here. I come and paste it down here. I told you a graph should be of reasonable size. So unaweza expand kidogo if you wish. Yeah. Then I also told you that a good graph should have, number one, you remove these ones, these fields. So to remove these fields, we said you right click on any of them. You right click on any of them. You right click, then you come where it's written hide all field buttons. you hide. Then you come here to the chart elements. Chart elements, you click on it. Then you ensure that our 5 items have been ticked. Our 5 items. The first one here, the second, the third. Alafu unakuja hapa kwa grid line and the legend. So title here we can say the budget allocated per project. Budget allocated per project. Even make it bold. Then this one, this is project. And this one, this is the budget amount. Yeah, so we are done with that. We are done with that. Let's come and do the second one. Equals. They want the amount disbursed, proportionality. So if you want to show proportions, we said you use a pie chart. You use a pie chart. So we will then quickly come up here where we have our second table, this one. You click on it. When you click on it, you go up there where is written pivot table analyze. Pivot table analyze. You get the pivot chart. Pivot chart. And then you come here where we have the pie. So you can choose any design you want here. Let me just go with the one I've seen here, the first. Once again, I right click inside, I cut, and I come down here, I paste it somewhere here. I can expand kidogo. Then you right click here, like we have said. You hide all the field buttons. Right click, hide all the field buttons. Right click, hide all the field buttons. And then you come to chart elements here. So here we have everything ticked. No, we are not going to tick the data labels. But if you want, naona hii inakaa mzuri. I think I can put it. Inaonyesha the figures. So then sasa here, I write the title here. Amounts disbursed per project. Amounts disbursed per project. Focus item. Yeah, amount disbursed per project focus item. Then we come and draw the last one equals, so question 25 here, the project. So it's another trade that they want. So trade, we always use the line thread, we use the line. Sasa tutakuja tuchukue hii table hii kubwa. Click anywhere inside it. Anywhere inside. When you click anywhere inside, you click pivot table, pivot chart elements. We want the line. Hiyo inakaa namna gani? Let me go still with the first one. Let me take the first. You cut, kuja tuiweke huku chini. Sasa now that this one appears congested, you can make it bigger. Ndio tuone kama itaonekana vizuri. Something like that. So you hide all the field buttons. Tick our 5 things. So this is project. So the chart title is project costs and administration. Administration costs. So this is amount in shillings, or we just call them shillings. Alafu sasa hii, this one time in years, or we just call it time. Just call it time. This legend, I can put it at the top, but not a mass is kusubue. You can put it wherever you want. Can put it wherever you want. So that is all. Any question? We have answered everything. We are okay, sema yes. We are okay, sema yes. Okay, good. So then we close it at that juncture. We end our lesson at that juncture.